Hello friends, welcome to my new session on Rolle's theorem. Friends, this is my first session on real analysis, and in this session I am going to discuss about Rolle's theorem. Now what is Rolle's theorem? Some students who are in BSc second year and BSc first year or in BTech first year, they will be familiar with this name because this is a very common name in case of real analysis, in the field of real analysis actually. And in this session I am going to discuss very few basic things about the Rolle's theorem. In this session I will discuss about the basic definition, that is a theory. Then I will discuss about the proof of Rolle's theorem. After that it will also include the geometric interpretation of Rolle's theorem. Then after that I will show you some very basic problems on Rolle's theorem. Actually I will show you some functions, very small and basic functions on which Rolle's theorem can be verified. So let's go. See here what I have written, that if a function fx is defined at a closed interval a and b such that fx is continuous at closed interval ab, fx was continuous at closed interval ab. I hope all of you know what is continuity. I hope everybody know about the concept of continuity and differentiability, because in our school days in standard 11 or standard 12 we all have learned about all this, when and how is a function is differentiable and within the limit, and when is a function is continuous function and everything. So coming to the first point, if a function fx is continuous at within a closed interval ab, and if the function is differentiable at open interval ab, see, don't get confused, this is closed interval and this is open interval ab, and f of a is equal to f of b, right? Then there will exist at least one point c which will belong to this closed interval ab such that f dash of c is equal to 0. What is f dash of c? That is the value of f dash of x at that point c, right? Now I will come to the geometrical interpretation of this Rolle's theorem. See, from the first point what we are told, that the function is continuous within the closed interval a b. See, if we draw this function, suppose we draw this function, this is a, this is b. See, a is in the negative x and b is in the positive side of x axis. Now as you can see that this function is continuous within this closed interval ab. Alright, now from this graph can we conclude that this function is also differentiable within this open interval ab, right? We can also conclude this thing, that this function is differentiable within this closed interval. And see, what is the value here? This value and this value, these two values are equal, right? See, both the values are at this point, that is, we can say now f of a is equal to f of b. We can write this also from this graph. So according to Rolle's theorem, from this, if these 3 points are satisfied, then there will exist at least one point in this graph at which this f dash of x at that point, say suppose c, will be 0. F dash of x at that point will be 0. See, we all know what is this f dash of x. We all have read it in our school days, that this differentiation is to find the slope, right? So if we observe this graph, can we say that the slope is 0 here in this point itself? Suppose this point is c, right? So if we find the value that f dash of c then we will say that it will give a value 0, right? And this C, see here, this C belongs to this closed interval, right? Thus thus the Rolle's theorem is verified. That is, this f of x satisfies the three conditions of Rolle's theorem, and for that reason the ultimate result of Rolle's theorem can be concluded, right? Now let us go to the proof of the Rolle's theorem. Now suppose we are given a function f of x, right, which is defined within this closed interval ab. Now according to Moore-Test law, if a function is defined as within a closed interval ab, then the function will attain at least one minimum and maximum value within that closed interval. Okay, so we can say that if this function is defined within this closed interval, suppose we get at least one minimum value and another one maximum value within this region. Okay, this is, suppose this is A and this is B. This is just a random function, I am not taking anything on, right? Now that arise, if we have this minimum and maximum value within this closed interval, two cases arise. The first case is the minimum value and maximum value are equal, and the second case is maximum value is not equal to the minimum value. Okay, these two main cases arise in this Moore-Test theorem, according to this Moore-Test theorem. First, let us consider that what will happen if max value and mean value are equal. Now, if max value and mean value are equal, then what we can conclude, that the function is a constant value, right? See, if the function goes on like this, suppose we say y is equal to, now we take that y is equal to suppose any random value d, right? It is the, now whenever we are saying that y is equal to d, we will say that this function is a constant function which is parallel to this x-axis, right? Now suppose this is a point A and this is a point B, x is equal to A and this is x is equal to B for both of these things. Now can you see anything? Is the function continuous? Yes, it is continuous. Is the function differentiable within these two? Yes, it is also differentiable within these two. Why? See, f of x is equal to A, so f dash of x will be 0 for any of the values. So it is, we can say that it is differentiable. Now if you don't remember this video, please guys revise it from your school books, how we calculate this differentiability and how these conditions are satisfied. Now coming back to this problem here, x is equal to A and here x is equal to B, right? Now what happen is, f of A, that is this value, is equal to f of B, this value. The value is same, everywhere it will be d, so the three conditions of Rolle's theorem is satisfied. Now what we are saying, that there will be at least one point C in which, at least one point C within A and B, the closed interval AB, in which f dash of x will be 0, right? Now suppose that this is the point C. Similarly, f of x is equal to d, f dash of x is equal to 0, f dash of c will also be equal to 0. So that, which means that the tangent here, if we try to draw a tangent to this line, it will be also like this, right? So the condition of the Rolle's theorem is satisfied. So for when the case is maximum value is equal to minimum value, the Rolle's theorem is proved in this way, right? The three conditions are satisfied, then there is a value C which belongs to closed interval AB such that f dash of C is equal to 0. So this is the Rolle's theorem. In this way the Rolle's theorem is satisfied. Now friends, I am coming to the proof part, that max is not equal to mean, right? This is the second case, you remember, right? When max is not equal to mean, we have to calculate this part also. Now suppose this is a function, this one is a function, it attains maximum value at this point C, and this is another point C minus H, and this is another point C plus H, and H tends to 0. It's a very small thing. Now do you remember anything, friends, when H tends to 0? Now people who are thinking that we are going to apply limit here, they are absolutely correct. We are really going to apply limit here, and you will see that after I show you the proof, you will say, oh my god, this was the thing, it was very simple. This will be your exact reaction. Now see, suppose we are taking these 2 points, see here f of C, and this part will be f of C minus H. Now this part is greater, that is f of C is greater than f of C minus H, right? Now if we just do this, f of C minus H minus f of C, okay, what is this? This will be less than equal to 0, right? Actually it will be negative, either it will be 0 or it will be negative, because see here this one is this part and see here it is this part, so there will be a difference here. So it will be, though it is H tends to 0, it will be either 0, but it will be in the less than equal to 0, it will be in the negative side. Now if we divide the whole thing by minus H, what will happen? This sign will change, right? Because when a negative number is divided by another negative number, it will turn positive. So this is the exact thing what is happening here. Now if we apply limit here, H tends to 0, f of C minus H minus f of C by minus H, what are you remembering anything? Any similarity here or anything which you have studied previously in your school days also? Now see, this is the exact expression of left hand differentiation, right? LHD. This is exactly LHD. LHD, and this LHD is greater than equal to 0, right? Now for the next case, that is this point, f of C plus H here and f of C is here. So f of C plus H, f of C plus H is less than f of C, right? So f of C plus H minus f of C is less than equal to 0, right? Now if we apply a limit here and divide this by H, right, what we will see that this is a positive number, because H is a positive number, and this C, it was negative, so negative by positive will give me a negative number. So this one is negative. So that's why I have kept lesser than equal to 0. And if you remember guys, this was the right hand differentiation thing. So this was RHD, and RHD is lesser than equal to 0. So from these two part, that LHD greater than equal to 0 and RHD lesser than equal to 0, we can say that the differentiation will exist when LHD is equal to RHD, but there is only one common region between these two, that is what? C. It is lesser than equal to 0 and RHD also lesser than equal to 0, which means they will only be equal when this LHD is equal to RHD will be equal to 0. That is, my god, there is no place to write, I have to rub it. This LHD is equal to RHD is equal to 0. This will be the thing, right? Then what's happening? This will exist, and this tangent will be equal to 0, that is f dash of C will be equal to 0 when max is not is equal to mean, and thus Rolle's theorem is proved. Now friends, if we are asked to verify Rolle's theorem, fx on x square minus 6x plus 8 at interval 2, 4. Okay, try here and see what's happened. If we apply 2 here, we will get 2 to the 4 and this is 12, it will 0 and 2, and we apply 4 here, this is 16, 24, 8 again it is, I'm sorry, this will be 2 and 0, and this will be 4 and 0. Now see, if we draw the graph of this function here like this, this is 2, this is 4, it will be something like this. I am just showing this a rough diagram. Just see, from this diagram we can conclude that this function is continuous at this closed interval 2, 4. It is also differentiable at the interval, sorry, this will be open interval 2, 4, and see, f of 2 is equal to f of 4, which is equal to 0 again. Now these three conditions are satisfied, so there will exist one point at which f dash of x will be equal to 0, and that point will be within 2 and 4. Now if we differentiate this f of x, what we will get? F dash of x will be equal to 2x minus 6, and if we equate this f dash of x to 0, we will get x is equal to 3. At this point, that is at x is equal to 3, you will see that this is the tangent which is parallel to x-axis, so which means that at f dash of 3 is equal to 0, and this 3 lies within 2 and 4. So that's all for now friends. If you like the video, please comment and please subscribe my channel, and in the next session I will discuss some more problems on Rolle's theorem, and please stay tuned for more videos. And if you want any other topics which you need to be discussed, please feel free to comment in the comment section. Thank you.